No one expected that night, the calm atmosphere suddenly turned into an emotional storm in the K-pop world. Jungkook, the golden meanie of BTS, suddenly opened his mouth about something that ARMY had been wondering about for weeks. Taehyung's live broadcast that had made the world go wild. No one expected that the words that came out of Jungkook's lips actually made thousands of fans around the world cry. Because for the first time, he revealed the true feelings that he had kept behind that gentle smile and that mysterious look. But Taehyung's live broadcast some time ago was indeed a heated discussion. In the show, Taehyung is seen talking casually, laughing, then suddenly silent for a moment while staring at the screen as if he was holding something. Before long, his facial expression turned wistful, making ARMY in the comments field panicked and questioning. What happened? Is this about Jungkook? Why do his eyes look sad? Thousands of questions arise, but there are no definite answers. Until now. Until Jungkook decided to tell a story in his own live broadcast. Jungkook appeared calmer than usual. Not in a joking tone, not in his relaxed style that often made the ARMY laugh. This time his face looks serious. The look in his eyes is like through the screen. I know you guys ask a lot about Taehyung, he said slowly, in a voice that sounded quivering but controlled. I'm not going to explain everything because it's not my part to tell other people's stories. But I want you to know, we always talk, even when you think we're silent. The sentence is like a lightning bolt that strikes in the middle of silence. ARMY around the world instantly flooded the comments with crying and heart emojis. Jungkook rarely spoke seriously, but this time he did so in a touching way that he stared at the screen for a moment, smiled faintly, then continued. Sometimes, we can't always show everything in front of the camera. There are things that can only be understood if you look from the heart. The sentence feels simple, but it contains deep meaning. As if Jungkook wanted to convey that what is seen in front of the screen is not always the real truth. He and Taehyung, two best friends who grew up together since adolescence, also have a dynamic relationship that is not easily explained in words. When a fan commented, "We're just afraid you guys are staying away," Jungkook looked down briefly, then replied in a low voice, "Nothing has changed. Only time makes everything look different. But our relationship remains the same. We are still the same as before, only the world around us is no longer the same." That sentence immediately made the Twitter, TikTok, and Weverse timelines explode. ARMY crying, wrote one of the Korean news portals. Jungkook finally opens up. Unshakable friendship. Article titles are popping up everywhere. But behind all that, there is a feeling of silence that can only be felt by fans who truly understand the depth of the relationship of these two best friends. Many still remember how Jungkook and Taehyung used to perform together, laugh on stage, tease each other behind the camera, and become a symbol of true friendship in the public eye. But over time, each other's routines, industry pressures, and busyness make their moments of togetherness less and less visible. ARMY, who is used to seeing the two laughing together, can now only guess from the brief snippets of interaction on the screen. Until Taehyung's live broadcast appeared, which made many fans suspect there was a distance between them. But that night, Jungkook broke all speculation with a single line that shook. "Tae has always been my go-to place when I'm tired. And I know, I'm home too if he needs to shut up." He said it with a small smile, but the look in his eyes couldn't hide his emotion, as if every word that came out of her lips carried a memory of the past. Laughter in the hostel, sleepless nights in the studio, a long journey that they had traveled together since their teens. And for ARMY, the moment was not just a confession, but a reminder that human relationships can't always be explained by cameras or rumors. After the broadcast ended, thousands of comments flooded social media. Many wrote that they cried seeing Jungkook's honest side that night. There were also those who claimed to feel a strong emotional energy, as if Jungkook wanted to calm all the hearts that had been restless. "I know you guys care," he said before ending the broadcast. "But don't worry, we're fine. Sometimes silence is not distance. Silence is a sign that we understand each other." That last sentence became a viral quote everywhere. ARMY made it wallpaper, captions, even scribbles in diaries. It feels so personal, so human. Many forget that behind their global superstar status, Jungkook and Taehyung are just two young people learning to grow under the world's spotlight. They have to maintain the image, bear the expectations, and bear the pressure that not everyone can afford. And maybe Taehyung's silence in his live at that time was not a sign of tenacity, but a way for a friend to calm down from a world that was too crowded. Jungkook, in his gentle way, finally chose the right time to explain, not for clarification alone, but to calm the hearts of the millions who love them. One thing is for sure. The moment shows that the two are still connected more deeply than just the stage and the camera's spotlight. They are two souls who understand each other without many words. And that night, Jungkook managed to prove one thing that many people may have forgotten, that silence can also be a form of love. The army smiled again amid the tears. They no longer demand an explanation, because they know there is something that does not need to be explained to be believed. Jungkook had said it with his heart, and the world heard it. Now, every time someone replays the broadcast, they no longer see two idols who secretly keep their distance, but two best friends who learn to stay together even though the world around them is constantly changing. After that night, the world seemed to stop talking about one thing: Jungkook's courage to open up. International media wrote it as the most honest moment in Jungkook's solo career, while fans called it a heartwarming confession. But behind all the hustle and bustle, there is something deeper that Jungkook's every word implies. A feeling that only those who have lost someone can understand, even if that person is still nearby. Army knows very well. Between Jungkook and Taehyung there was never any hatred. There was never hostility. But one thing is hard: time. Since BTS decided to focus on individual projects, the two have rarely appeared together. The schedule of promotions, training, and personal responsibilities makes that distance feel even wider. "We were busy, we grew up, but we still remember each other," Jungkook said in a radio interview. A sentence that now feels like it has a new meaning after his confession on Live. Interestingly, many fans judged that Jungkook's expression that night was different from usual. He is not acting as a global artist, but as an ordinary human being who misses someone who is so important to him. Even some soldiers claim to be able to see the tears falling from his eyes. "He tried to be strong, but I knew from the way he sighed." Jungkook was holding back his emotions, one fan wrote on Twitter. The comment went viral, and not a few agreed. After the live, Army was busy recalling the good times of both. Old video footage of Jungkook looking at Taehyung with genuine laughter as they hugged after the concert, to the moment where Jungkook secretly watched Taehyung backstage, is now circulating again. Everyone seems to want to relive that warm feeling. The feeling that used to be the reason they fell in love with BTS's friendship. But what made this story even more touching was the way Jungkook closed the broadcast that night. It does not close with a song, nor with a sweet greeting as it usually does. With just one gentle sentence: "Tae no, I'm always here." That simple phrase hit the hearts of millions of viewers. To some, it sounds like a personal message broadcast for the whole world, a phrase of affection without the need to say names directly. The next day, netizens noticed something no less surprising. On the Weverse platform, Taehyung left a short comment on a fan post alluding to Jungkook's broadcast. He simply wrote, "I watched it. Thanks for understanding." There was no emoji, no extra words, but the world just went wild. Army knows those two sentences are not just a platitude. It was a silent form of communication between two best friends who looked after each other from afar. They no longer need to appear both in front of the camera to prove anything. Just with that short sentence, everything becomes clear. Many Korean media called the moment a silent reconciliation, but the Army knew better. There is nothing to reconcile, because their love and friendship are never lost. What happens is that two people learn to deal with the world in their own way. And now, through Jungkook's honesty, the world has finally seen another side of the glittering K-pop scene, a fragile, warm, and real side.